Now on 12, 4 family members shot dead, including one toddler. Police still on the scene in Brownsville, trying to piece together a motive. And students walking out of class coast to coast, honoring the lives of those shot to death in a massacre at a Florida high school 1 month ago today. And will the weather take a turn for the better this weekend? We have the details in your hyper-local 7-day forecast. All of that and more right here on News 12. Thank you for joining us here on News 12 Brooklyn, where we are as local news gets. I'm Amanda Bossard. A tragic story still developing in Brownsville as we learn more about that early morning shooting that left 4 family members, including a 1-year-old baby girl, dead, and many questions still unanswered. News 12 Brooklyn's Justine Miller does have the very latest, though, for us from the scene. Justine.
Amanda, that's right. There are still so many questions here that are left unanswered, from who the shooter was to why someone would do this, especially to a baby. Detectives, the crime scene unit, and forensics teams were on the scene today. They were here at the Riverdale apartment towers in Brownsville all morning. This as streets are still blocked off in the area and the medical examiner staff are on the scene. Police tell us they were called to the area around 5 this morning to the 4th floor at 345 Thetford Avenue in Brownsville. The 911 call came from a 53-year-old woman who police say lives in the apartment and was returning home from a night out. She is also believed to be the grandmother of that baby girl. Now, officials tell us that the relationships of everyone found inside the apartment have not been confirmed, but this is what they believe so far. The 27-year-old father of the 1-year-old was found in a bedroom with the girl. His 57-year-old stepfather was found in the bathroom, while that man's 16-year-old son was found in a separate bedroom. All 4 individuals, including that baby, were shot and killed before police arrived. They offered words of sympathy to the victim's family and said it's a difficult case.
The nature of this business, we deal with death and tragic scenes, but when it involves an infant, it's extremely tough.
Officials also tell us they found a gun with bullets and shell casings inside the apartment. We spoke to several neighbors who tell us they know the deceased older man as Big Daddy and that this is a major loss for the community.
Never bother nobody. Everybody over here in this hood love Big Daddy. The whole hood is feeling really sad right now, and I know this for sure.
He's going to be missed, the kids and everything.
Now, the investigation is still ongoing. Police are telling us they don't know why these 4 individuals were shot and killed, but that there is a possible theory that it was a murder-suicide. In Brownsville, Justine Miller, News 12 Brooklyn. Back to you, Amanda.
A lot of unanswered questions, but Justine, thank you for those developments. Now, if you would like to view the entire press conference that police gave on this incident earlier today, you can view it in its entirety on our website, news12.com. Time now for a look at the hyperlocal forecast with meteorologist Stephen Strauss. A little bit of a chill in the air today.
Yeah, that's for sure. It is chilly. We're about 10 degrees below average. Typically, we'd be in the upper 40s, but right now we're dealing with numbers that are in the upper 30s. Canarsie, 39 degrees. East New York, 39. Park Slope, 39. You get the idea. It is cold out there. Definitely a day, as I mentioned, for the winter coat. Winds out of the west. 15 to 25 miles an hour today with gusts up to 30. And when you factor in the wind chill, it's just insulting. It feels like we're in the 20s at some times, especially when that wind blows. And it feels like we're in the lower 30s, even when the winds are light between 5 and 10 miles an hour. That's how much this kind of cold air just puts a sting on any exposed skin today. It feels like a January day rather than a March day. And the reason why is we had our monster winter storm, which brought crazy amounts of snow to parts of Boston, over a foot, and still producing snow across upstate New York. We may see a snow shower in here later today. Let's time it out. In fact, this computer model is picking it up around 3:30, 4 o'clock as we go through the period 4:30, maybe moving through Brooklyn. And then overnight tonight and this evening, I think the clouds will dissipate a little bit. We're calling for a partly or mostly cloudy sky, and then as you head out the door on Thursday morning, I think we'll see some sunshine again, but the wind stays with us right through the next 24 to 48 hours. So your forecast, here we go. The snow showers around early this afternoon, and then mostly cloudy with temperatures in the low 30s. We'll send it back to you, Amanda.
All right, Stephen, thank you so much. Meanwhile, students across the country taking part in National Walkout Day. It's a movement sparked by their peers to protest gun violence and remember the victims who lost their lives in the Parkland school shooting. News 12 Brooklyn's Nicole Ryan joining us from East New York now to show us how students there were able to make their voices heard this morning. Nicole.
Yes, the time 10 a.m. That's when hundreds of students at this school walked out of class armed with a message and a purpose. They said they were taking part in National Walkout Day for two reasons. Students here from the Academy for Young Writers say it was their way to pay a somber tribute to the 17 people killed in the Parkland massacre, which happened exactly a month ago today. That's why the walkout lasted 17 minutes. But this Brooklyn school had another message, addressing all the black and brown people who've been killed by guns and the overall violence in their community.
We chose to just include everyone, not only just the Parkland shooting, but everyone who have lost their lives over the course of just years.
Communities, because I'm sure they wouldn't want any of their children walking around like in a community like this where they do not feel safe, where they have to walk in groups to feel safe and walk to the bus stop, or like having someone pull out a gun on them and not like, you know, like not knowing what to do. They're only like a teenager or like a young child.
Now on Saturday, March 24th, there'll be the March for Our Lives in some cities across our country. Many Brooklyn students tell me they plan on taking part in that as well. In East New York, Nicole Ryan, News 12, Brooklyn.
All right, Nicole, thank you so much. Now, this is a movement not just being seen here in Brooklyn, but it's happening across the country and also around the world. And here we're taking a look at students in Israel in their walkout to show solidarity with the students protesting gun violence. It's also in remembrance of the 17 victims of the Parkland, Florida school massacre. Over in India as well, you can see students there supporting this movement. They're doing it through their art, and in that country, they're calling it My Freedom Day. And back in our borough now, Mayor de Blasio joining students at Edward R. Murrow High School for their walkout there this morning. After several speeches by members of the Activist Club and a moment of silence, the mayor took to the mic to praise the leadership shown by students around the country over the last month on this issue of gun control.
We need your leadership. We need you, because you have shown a kind of leadership that we've never seen before. And I am very certain in my heart that change is coming because of you.
And if you or someone you know is taking part in a walkout today, we do want to hear from you, and you can do so by heading on over to our Facebook page, News 12 Brooklyn. You can upload pictures in the comment section, and you can also use the hashtag National Walkout Day. Meanwhile, investigators continue to look for pieces of the puzzle in Sunday's deadly chopper crash in the East River. They say that critical questions remain unanswered. Now, 5 passengers did die when the helicopter went down, but now the National Transportation Safety Board is trying to figure out whether harnesses hindered the passengers from being able to escape. The pilot was able to quickly get out. He did survive, and investigators do hope he will provide them with some answers.
We will be asking him to be interviewed, and we hope he'll comply, because obviously our only purpose here is to ensure that this type of accident doesn't happen again.
Now, investigators also say they recovered a flight data recorder and a GoPro camera from that aircraft. I'm Amanda Bossert, and you're watching News 12 Brooklyn. Coming up, Amazon recalling some portable chargers, plus
coming up on Making Sense with Christy, you want to start young on this one. We're talking about paying for higher education.
My personal advice for saving for your kids' education.
Flatbush Ditmas Park. You're watching News 12 Brooklyn, as local news gets.